p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this June 4th, or on this Tuesday, June 4th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we've got a little bit of information that's come out in the last few hours. We'll talk about the price action. We'll talk about a few other things that are going on. But right now, Brad Garlinghouse a few hours ago came out, and I have the video, and he talked about how an XRP ETF he anticipates in 2025. Who knows when in 25, or if it'll be even sooner than 25, but that's what he's putting out there. He essentially put out a warning and said, hey, you know, this is what's coming. Love it or hate it, believe me or not, this is what is anticipated for 25. And I can tell you right now, we'll get into a little active discussion here about how so many people have got turned off to XRP now in a moment where there's such an opportunity here. There is such an opportunity that so many people are just looking the other way. I've used the word earlier, historic opportunity that has gone unnoticed by the masses. Retail investors have gone unnoticed. They're unnoticed. The whole movement has gone unnoticed. In 2021, everybody wanted to buy XRP. Everybody said why XRP was at a lifetime, it was a lifetime buying opportunity, that if you missed it then you would never get another shot. But everybody said that when it was plus $1, plus $1.50, closing in on $2. But now we get to a point where XRP has been under 50 cents. It was down as low as 40 again here recently, under 55. Still 2 for $1 for the longest time here, for over a year and a half. But so many people are afraid to buy it and accumulate. And I've gone out on a limb, and during the lives it's been a little easier to point out exactly what I've been doing, but I've added over 9,800 XRP just through the XRP Bitcoin pairing. While everybody turns away, while the negative connotation surrounds XRP, while most of retail is like, I'm tired of this pile of garbage, that's when I see opportunity. That's when I get more excited to start buying this and buy more. Oh, Vincent, I can understand that. I used to say a long time ago, any spare change, any spare money, even if you had to go out and collect cans and that kind of thing. And I wasn't joking, I was serious. But here, let me go through the comments very quickly so I don't get behind. Simon, welcome in along with Vincent Ortega. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army, along with Mark Caston for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. I appreciate you all. K4 Liberty, welcome in, and you are welcome for the stream. Mario Louise Willamese, welcome in, friend. Nobody, good evening. K4 Liberty, welcome in. God bless you all as well. Price is getting very tight indeed. Mike Oxmouse, welcome in. JG, hope the family's doing well, and thanks for the stream. Yes, we're doing very well this evening. Very, very well. We're adapting very well since being home from the hospital, and it's been rather nice. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for well over a year with the I Told You So badge. Make XRP great again, welcome in. Boris, welcome. Says stoned as a crow. Well, that's should make for an interesting live. Cape Cod Kyle, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army. Not from Florida, but Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I appreciate you being in the house, Kyle Kupiak. Mike already said hi. Trading with J-Ride, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XB589 Moon Badge. Giovanni, good evening. You're all fired up today. Yes, yes, indeed. Kimberly, welcome at BITUNIX. Great customer service. Quick reply. Yes, Kimberly, thank you for sharing that, love. Yes, I've had nothing but positive experiences with BITUNIX since I started trading on there. So I've been pushing it so hard. Second to none in customer service as well. Instantaneous, it feels like. That's in the video description below and our pinned comments if anybody wants to trade XRP in the USA or even throughout the world on BITUNIX, and it's got the lowest spot and leverage trading fees I've found in the USA, and it's just the ease. It's the ease. The usability is very flawless. You don't even need to do a KYC unless you transfer or deposit from a bank account, so consider all of that. But today we will go over the price action as we're up 1.1% to the 52.6 cent mark, as the bulls, in my opinion, are trying to eye that 53.7 pivot point. But even further than that, welcome in, Steve. Appreciate you tuning in. XRP Army, let's go indeed. But Brad Garlinghouse has come out today, and he's talked about the XRP ETF to come in 2025. And it's rather, it's a cool little dynamic that's shifting here. So I want to watch this. It's a little lengthy. I might have to look for it somewhere else if it doesn't play like this, but I prefer to play it like this.
Currencies were powering higher today. Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, XRP, all of them are in the green. Meanwhile, investor interest in Ether.
Oh yeah, this is it.
Ether's the second most popular digital currency behind Bitcoin, has skyrocketed after the...
And please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends it while we watch this video. I wanted to go over this first so everybody sees what's going on with what Brad Garlinghouse said.
SEC approval of a spot Ether ETF. Now, those aren't trading yet, but according to CoinShares, over the past week, Ethereum has seen $33.5 million worth of inflows, which has pushed its total monthly inflows to over 21 million. Pending one last SEC approval, the spot Ether ETFs are set to begin trading maybe as early as next month. So here's the question. Is the dam now opening, and could XRP, that's the cryptocurrency used on Ripple's money...
Remember, they start to put it into the media before it starts to become reality. So listen to the nuances that are being thrown in here. Listen to what Brad Garlinghouse says. Understand, look, it's on Fox News now. But not just the resolution of the XR or the Ripple SEC case in the rock, you know, in the sites now. We're not in 2021 anymore. The closer to 25 we get, the more bullish I get. And I'm going to tell everybody exactly what I've been doing here, as I've been for the last 7 weeks in this accumulation, continuous accumulation here through the XRP Bitcoin pairing. But I'm not going to interrupt this anymore. But this is big news. And it's starting to be talked about very under the radar through the national media as well. So while retail runs away, there's a reason why so many millions of dollars worth of XRP is being just picked up and scooped up by the whales, while retail continues to unload and turn the blind eye.
Transfer network be the next to flow into the ETF market. Joining me now, live in a Fox Business exclusive, is Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse.
And it's time to relax as well.
In studio, no less. Let's get to Ether first. Word on the street is that spot Ether ETF is going to come alive. It's alive next month, as early as next month, maybe July. Who knows? What do you think?
I think that's right. And I think it is a big deal just in terms of further opening the markets to more people who want to access it. Obviously, the Bitcoin ETF went live in January. And you saw 10 billion. I mean, it took, I think, 2 months to reach the same level it took gold's ETF to reach over like a year. So the interest in this space remains very, very high. And I think the ETH ETF will do extremely well.
What do you think is behind the SEC becoming, let's just call it more pragmatic about cryptocurrency ETFs and the approval process?
Well, I think the first thing is they've lost a lot in court. And so, you know, they really got dragged kicking and screaming across the line to get the Bitcoin ETF live. And I think they realized that if they were going to drag their feet and fight around the ETH ETF, that likely the same outcome was going to happen. And I mean, it's frustrating that we have to go through the courts to get those positive outcomes. The United States should be investing in these technologies. We should be embracing these from a job creation, from a technical innovation. And unfortunately, this SEC has been fighting it, you know, every step of the way.
I've known you for, I don't know, 7 years now. And back then, y'all didn't have that loud a voice.
For sure.
It feels like you do now. So what about an XRP ETF? You were speaking at the Consensus 2024 conference just a week ago. And
right.
You said, inevitable, not just for XRP, but Solana and Cardano, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But XRP in particular, the SEC has tried to throw you down in court.
Yeah.
Don't you think that Gensler and company might just say, no, that one, no way?
I think it's a hard argument with them to win. I mean, can they make life difficult? They've made life difficult for a lot of people, then they've lost in court. What I was talking about at the Consensus conference last week in Austin was that people don't want just exposure to one commodity. So if you have exposure to gold, you might want exposure to silver. If you have exposure to other commodities. And so to me, it only makes sense. You don't want to have just a single threaded asset exposure. So I think people also forget that it wasn't that long ago, before the SEC got involved, that XRP was the second most valuable digital asset. That was before the SEC kind of anointed ETH. Then they couldn't answer the question, is ETH a security or not? And now they've approved the ETF. They contradict each other. It's very contradict themselves. It's very difficult to follow.
Let's not assume that all our investor audience understand what XRP is. XRP is the token or the coin that Ripple, which is a money transaction site, right, that is charged, right?
Yeah.
You get paid in XRP, but it's become something that people can also buy whether they use the Ripple blockchain, right?
Correct. So XRP is a digital asset, not that dissimilar than Bitcoin or ETH. There's different characteristics of each asset. Bitcoin has really become digital gold and it has thrived because of that. ETH, there's a lot of excitement around the smart contracts capabilities. XRP is extremely fast on a per transaction basis and extremely inexpensive. People talk about gas fees and transaction costs of some other tokens. Ripple uses XRP as part of our technical stack to do cross-border payment flows.
And you charge whoever is moving the money,
Correct.
0.00001 of XRP, which stands around 51 cents or something right now. But here's my question. Right now, the main competitor in that space is SWIFT. That, of course, is the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Transactions. That's the global one that a lot of people use. They charge much more, do they not?
Yeah, they really are the dominant. I mean, SWIFT has been around for...
What year is this from? This is from right now. Literally, this is literally from as recent as you could possibly get, friend. This is just recent. As far as this week. Look at the Dow. The Dow's at 38,647 when this was being done. This is breaking. Bitcoin right now, this is part of the run right now. This is from today. This is in today's sphere, folks. This is actually breaking. This is what everybody's talking about, what he's saying. So that's why I was so excited about this. So did she just give the true pairing number? I believe she did, JW. But yeah, Ridicule, welcome in as well. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I think there's about 70 people in here this evening. It's great to see. Very nice to see, despite many giving up on the crypto sphere. I mean, I just don't understand it. We'll continue to get into this talk after, but let's continue to listen to this.
For 50, 60 years. And the frustrating part for all of us as users of SWIFT is it really hasn't changed in 50 or 60 years. The architecture of how it works, it means it's slow, it's expensive, and frankly, it's quite error prone. Some studies have shown that about 6% of all SWIFT attempts to wire a SWIFT transaction end up in errors that bounce back, and then it takes days to get it back.
What about you guys?
Well, an XRP transaction and a payment flow for us is really real time. It's instant, it's cross-border, and the really powerful thing for a lot of our customers is they don't have to pre-fund accounts, because our customers are financial institutions. And the way SWIFT works is you're pre-funding, you have dormant capital sitting in other banks around the world. Using XRP, using RippleNet, our payments network, you don't have to pre-fund.
When we look at this suddenly coming alive cryptocurrency, at least in the past week or so, so now we've got Bitcoin back above 70,000. Some people are making the connection between that and the Roaring Kitty re-entry into the world, reactivating his account on Reddit and saying he owns $115 million worth of GameStop shares. Do you see any connection between his sudden emergence and all of the cryptos moving higher, like a meme stock feel back in 2021 where people were also diving into crypto?
Yeah, I think this momentum is really driven from what's happening on a political basis. And the United States remains the largest economy in the world, and it has been kind of backwards as its approach to cryptocurrencies. Countries like the UK are way ahead, Japan, Singapore, Switzerland. I mean, we are really behind the rest of the world.
And Ripple has offices in many of those cities.
We do. We have 14 offices around the world. And so for me, I think what's really driving the momentum...
Guys, listen to what they're telling you right now. They're almost trying to reach through the screen and tell you, we're not telling you to buy, but come on now. At what point are you going to pull your heads out your asses? At what point is retail going to understand this isn't 2021 when it was at $1.50, when everybody was piling into XRP? It's exactly what we had predicted to happen, was that when the buying opportunity was there, everybody'd be too afraid to buy because the public perception has shifted. You'll see all the major YouTubers that are much more famous than I will start talking about this when XRP's over $1. Why the hell would you wait? Why wait for the FOMO? You want to pre-run the FOMO. This is an eye-opener right here because it's actually being talked about in the national narrative right now. I really believe that a lot of people are going to be left out in the dirt and cold, and they're just going to be scared at the end, and they're just going to buy no matter what. John Hall, we give our prayers to your son who's out in boot camp in the Army, just that everything goes good. we thank him for his service as well. You must be proud, John. I know it's a stressful time, I can imagine, but that's amazing. Ridicule, thank you so much for the $2 donation. First YouTube super chat during my lives. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. First donation of the live. I really, really appreciate that. And if you do appreciate my work, you can always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army. It's greatly appreciated. Zachary, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. Man, I miss seeing the 1 month badge. Haven't had a new member in Tom's Army in a little while. I miss seeing the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Maybe one day somebody else will resubscribe or for the first time subscribe to Tom's Army. But anyhow, let's get back to this.
Right now is seeing that you even said this earlier, the voice of crypto, the voice of Ripple, and is really gone up in the conversation in the United States. I think you're seeing shifts.
Well, some of that is money. You yourself, over the past 2 years, have given a total of $50 million to Fair Shake, the lobby firm that cryptocurrency people are really kind of filling the coffers there. And suddenly you have Donald Trump saying, I'm the crypto president. You have Joe Biden making some noise about, come on, lay off the regulations a little bit. You guys suddenly have a voice. You're the kitten that roared in a way.
Yeah. So I think it's less about the roaring kitten and more about, hey, you're seeing some of the political machinery in the United States move and act. And look, we haven't yet seen the Biden administration. They've said some things, but they haven't followed this up with actions. You have seen Trump make this part of his campaign. I think it's incredibly smart and incredibly strategic. This is a topic that has a lot of passionate people, and this is an excitement and enthusiasm that are pro-innovation, pro these technologies, and know that they can be used in ways to protect consumers all at the same time. I think it's crazy that it ever became a partisan issue, but I think that the Republicans are being very strategic in how they're approaching that, and I think it's becoming an election issue, which I think is good for the industry, and thus I think it's driving some momentum in the market.
Brad, we'll be watching. Okay, XRP ETF. When?
I think we're going to see it, I think it'll probably be 2025.
Next year.
So he thinks it's going to be 2025. They've even used the words that it could be even more imminent. But I believe now is the opportunity, as I've been saying for over a year, the accumulation phase, 2 for $1. Well, when we bought in, it was first 34 cents. But I've accumulated another 9,800 XRP via the XRP Bitcoin pairing. And we'll get into this later. But it's just something that I can see is building and building and building and building. And I don't care if it takes a year, 2 years, 5 years. I just know at some point we're getting to that crescendo point with the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. By virtue or by payment, they're going to be done with this ahead of every other major cryptocurrency in the sphere. It's the only one that's going to have it. It's the only one who's going to be done with the SEC. And they're exposing it in many fronts. And look how they're talking right now. You haven't heard this line of talking before, as if they're the golden child now that's come out and stood against the SEC. This is what we're waiting for.
Yeah, all right. Not too far away.
Good to see you.
So that's major. To me, that's major. That's major in more ways than one. And the opportunity on the XRP Bitcoin pairing, as it continues to consolidate, as I talked earlier, there's a major opportunity to advance a position, even if you want to buy it on that front. Bye, Scarlett. Bye, Michaela. Okay, Julie. But there's an opportunity of waiting here. There really is. Zachary, thank you for the $10 donation, your third YouTube super chat while watching me. I appreciate that. And also in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XP 589 Moon badge. Really, really appreciate that continued support and dedication. Yeah, I was in XRP in 21. I bought at an average of 47 cents. I sold at $1.66. Bought back in 2023 at 34 cents, 34 and a half cents. And now I started buying the last 7 weeks through the XRP Bitcoin pairing. And I'm about $5,200 in. I'm down about $100, $110 right now in current times. I would say somewhere around, maybe not even that much. Let me look. But I'm taking advantage of adding to my position. And this is on MEXC because they have the XRP Bitcoin pairing, which is in the video description below and or pinned comments. If you have the opportunity, but this is how I've been expanding my position. Yeah, down $109 or 2.07%. Right now, my value is worth $5,160. I have added 9,821 XRP through the pairing. If you want to look at it in an equation to XRP, I now have over 22,000 XRP. But I have with 9,800 of them where I can either sell it through Bitcoin, I can do whatever. Right now, Bitcoin's up 2.59%. Nobody here should be surprised. Nobody here should be surprised. It's been in a pennant flag that it broke out of and drew out the inverse head and shoulders that's now starting to play out. If we can get on top of 70,500 area, let's see where it is in the exact time right now. 70,536. If it can stay over 70,536, it's going to not only confirm this breakout, but the technical move up was 77,965 out of this pennant flag. Out of this pennant flag. And right now it's doing exactly what we want it to do. 100% on the money. A lot of people are afraid of Bitcoin. Don't be afraid. It already came down and retested that entire pattern formation consolidation. We had to do an entire cup after we broke down out of that rising channel just to come back up after, complete this short-term cup. And now it looks like we're going to try to target, and it could possibly go all the way up to 88K. The technical target here off the broken, or the breakup out of that pennant flag, just the consolidation length, is up to 77,965. Technically, you would expect it to retest 88K if it gets on top of there. If it doesn't get on top of it, or if it gets on top of 88K and holds, the technical breakup, measuring the entirety of that cup, the depth of it, gives you a target of 139,598. By no means am I saying that's coming in the imminent, or in the very short term. What I'm saying is, if it gets on top of 70,536 and holds, it's going to confirm the technical move up out of the pennant flag to 77,965. That's the bottom line. I've been watching this. We've been talking about this. There's such an opportunity building here, but it is going so unnoticed. I haven't seen this big of disdain in XRP since prior to the rally in 21. I have not seen this kind of negative connotation towards XRP since 2021, prior to the breakout in around April of 21. Before that, everybody was just calling it a pile of horse shit, or May, I should say, and they were just so negative about it. Now that we're in an opportune, this is such an opportune moment as well. The XRP Bitcoin pairing is so out of whack right now. It reminds me of the gold-silver ratio before it started to correct a little bit back in silver's favor. Today it started going back the other way, but it's so out of whack. XRP right now, if you just look at this in the cup and handle perspective, we're well within the handle. This is a very bullish technical setup unless the handle breaks down. Until it breaks down, we are very, very bullish. Right now, it has no signs of breaking down yet. In fact, we held a very critical level where it looks like when we talked yesterday that it was going to sneak in a W reversal, and it would be more clear today if that engulfing candle took place, which we assumed it would because of where the close was heading. But you can see this lining up right here, right on the support structure, and this would indicate that we're going to want to try to retest a back test here, even if it's bearish, to just see how we react in that 50 and current times around that 56 cent area up here, 56.4. In the short term, XRP shows us the exact pivot point that we have to watch for before we can start breaking up to the mid-tier handle resistance. And we're getting very close to it at that 53.77 cents. This has all been right out here in front of us. I've not changed anything. We've just been consolidating. And we even said a breakdown could get us down to 40.3 cents. And that's just because we have to know. We have to know what's going on. But we can take this out just so it's not confusing. But we just want to know what's going on. Now the farther it goes, it could be an even shorter fall if it fell through, but we have an engulfing candle in the daily. Looks like a nice inverted hammer. And right now where we're at in current times, if we close where we at 52.50, preferably, as long as we close over 52.33, it's a decent candle. I prefer it to close as close. I would like to see it close near 52.8, 52.7. We are starting to push bullish in the daily time frame as well. So this is a very nice sign right now that we could have a bigger appreciation here. It really is. Giovanni says, I'm using leverage to swing trade and hopefully ride it up. Risky business. Yeah, it is risky business. But remember, I like to point out where you take leverage when you are in a pattern consolidation and you understand where it's at. Right now, you know the floor right now for you is you really don't want it to lose 50.8 cents. But if you're in a leverage trade, use this support structure. If it breaks below 51.6 and it looks like it's coming down volatilely and it's not going to come back and it gets a rejection, that is where you could put a stop loss at 51.6 because you really don't want it coming below that handle support. So if you're in a leverage trade, just watch that 51.6 cent level very, very closely. Very, very closely. And if you are watching right now, about half of you that are watching have hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button so that YouTube will recommend this update. And then more people who are scrolling through YouTube, my content will pop up. We can continue to expand the community and we can help it continue to advance the knowledge we have with XRP, with Ripple, and with the ISO tokens and the IoT tokens as well. But there's an opportunity here with XRP. I cannot scream it loud enough. In 21, so many people were so optimistic. Now in 24, when the opportunity's there, everybody runs away. Everybody runs away. Tom, a couple months ago, I had to sell 3,000 of my XRP. Finally got a break and replace it. Excellent. Excellent. That's what I like to hear, my friend. I was going to say ridicule, but I know that's not exactly your name, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you stuck with it and you got through a rough time and then you were able to replace it and you waited for an opportunity. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It really is. But there's an opportunity here. There's such an opportunity present. Let's go into the XRP Bitcoin pairing real quick. Since we talked about XRP, we talked about Bitcoin. Look at this pairing, how perfectly it's riding down. I tell you, eventually, we're going to meet that point where all the lower time frames are going to hit that weekly oversold. The weekly is oversold right now when it comes to the XRP Bitcoin pairing. And all they're really waiting for are the other time frames to catch up, and they're getting close. And honestly, it's hard to look at that in the daily, to look at that kind of consolidation. If you look at it more like this, it makes more sense. You can even come across the bottom, but there's a little descending structure that's taking place right here. And like I've said, I'm very patient. And if it rides down all the way into the 713 support, I am okay with this because it's going to become massively oversold. And that's what I'm looking for. Wow, Mike Stevenson, that is an incredible donation. Your 10th, what? Okay. Your 10th YouTube super chat on the live stream, a $50 donation. That was unbelievably generous. I don't even remember the last time I got a donation that size. That is incredibly generous. Mike, thank you so much. It's been a trying time in the community as well because, you know, not necessarily the most dedicated of ones, but a lot of people are just giving up on XRP. You know, and my voice can only go so far as the ones who watch. So I believe we're going to have a big rebound here once everybody realizes what's going to happen with XRP. But there are so many opportunities looming right now. It's insanity. D says, I think it's going to boom. I got to see what he said about JP Morgan. But with the XRP Bitcoin pairing, it's an opportunity that's presented. If it breaks down out of this descending consolidation, we could certainly see this 712, but that's going to present a massively oversold condition. And Mike, thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months as well with the XRP Meteor. I'm greatly, greatly appreciative of that donation and your continued support in Tom's Army. It's such a vital part of what I do here. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. Thank you so much. The 400 million XRP by Ripple, it's speculative, but sometime in June. We don't know exactly. We don't know exactly. But that's just speculation that Ripple's left the door open for that kind of a release here. So that's why I still continue to feel like this pairing is such an opportunity. It's such an opportunity. We're going to have to consolidate this from a farther out time frame if this breaks down as well. But if it comes down here, I'm buying this every single day. Every single day. And it's allowing me to advance my position, and not just the pairing and the disperse, you know, just the unevenness of it, but it's also allowing me to add more XRP through the pairing. I appreciate that. Mike says, I just love your videos, Tom. You're the man. I appreciate that, Mike. I do my best. I really, really do. I really, really do. Tom, you've been hearing some silly news articles saying XRP going to hit 100. Oh, I see them all. They're everywhere. There's an article that came out today that says, will XRP hit 65,000% on this next rally? Even though I don't talk about those, I do see them everywhere. It's just, that's the fear and conjecture, and that's what everybody buys XRP for. They expect it to go up overnight. And those articles are a lot of the reasons why. A lot of the reasons why. Giovanni, it certainly is full of silly stories on Twitter. I agree with that. But yeah, that's the scoop right now with XRP, with where it's at in the current rotation, the current formation with that cup and handle. It's very bullish. I understand that it's had a lofty consolidation. 2460 Joel. I buy the XRP Bitcoin pairing on Uphold. I mean, not on Uphold. On MEXC. That's in the video description below and our pinned comments. USA users, if you're not signed up, it's going to be an issue. But I'm already signed up to MEXC, so that's where I use it. So, the XRP Bitcoin pairing. So basically, it's XRP as it's related to Bitcoin. So right now, it's very undervalued. It's very undervalued in terms of its relation to Bitcoin. If you're familiar with the gold-silver ratio, it's pretty much similar. So on this account, just consider XRP as silver and Bitcoin's gold. Right now, it's out of whack in favor of Bitcoin. So when it gets into a certain range, you start to acquire through the XRP Bitcoin pairing. So what you have to do is you'd have to buy Bitcoin, and then you would have to buy the XRP Bitcoin pairing with the Bitcoin. And that is telling you, or that you're betting on the fact that you believe XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin in the future. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. It doesn't even have to be next year. Just in terms, you're believing that XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin. However, by buying it like that, you can still, even if it's being outperformed by Bitcoin, you can still sell it out as just XRP. So if the XRP price appreciates and you're holding it, even if it goes down in the weight against Bitcoin, you can sell it out in XRP as well, just like you would with XRP tokens. You'll still have a value. Like right now, my value is just over 9,800 tokens, in addition to my 12,000 that I already own, 12,000 plus. So it's put me now to where I have the opportunity at 22,000. Yes, a lot of people are going to wait for the SEC decision against Ripple. Yes, a lot of people will wait for the ETF. I'm taking advantage of an opportunity I believe is present. And I think looking forward, this is going to be one of the best decisions I make in 2024, doing this through the pairing. There's been a lot of good decisions made in 24, and a lot of money has been made in 24, but there's a lot more still on the table. And right now, when everybody's afraid, I like to buy when everybody's afraid. That's the bottom line. Even if it takes a minute, I like to accumulate in. And right now, I've got a fantastic accumulation, the opportunity to accumulate. And it's just something that I enjoy doing while it's going down. I don't like to accumulate. It falls out of favor a little bit to me once the rally starts. I love covering things when it's in the accumulation phase. So much. So much. Hardest trading is catching a beautiful bottom and then sitting back and relaxing. It sure is. It sure is. Yeah, that's the only thing I kept on Uphold is my flare, because I get the free airdrops. That's the only thing I actively have on there. That's it. That's the only reason that I have anything on Uphold, because I had already bought it on there, and I'm just continuing to collect it. But yeah, that's the only thing. But it also looks like there could be a very sneaky inverse head and shoulders here, even though it's off kilter. I know it's off center, and it might not even be anything of significance. But if it does do this without invalidating that lower structure, and it's close, let's just say it does this, came down, one could argue that it was into a head formation, and it could come out rather volatilely. But that remains to be seen. We'll continue to watch this pairing. I'm very happy with Bitcoin coming up over 70,530 area. We've been talking about the fact that we broke out of a pennant flag, and we need to get over that 70,500 and some change to confirm the move to 77,900 and some change. So George02907, thank you so much for not only being in Tom's Army for 3 months, but also just sending a $10 donation as he has the XRP Meteor. And I got to read the message, but I thank you for that $10 donation. That is incredibly generous of you, my friend. I was not expecting these donations this evening. I'm not going to lie. I never expect it. Thank you so much. Like, seriously. Thank you so very much. Oh yeah, we got to do, I have one bit of reading I wanted to do as well. I know we watched the video, but I wanted to read this. He said, "My prayers for your son and bless you for keeping all of us informed on our investments through everything you and your family are going through." I want to read the last part as well. I'll read the last part once it shows back up. But does everybody see where we're heading here this evening? Does everybody see what we're talking about? This is the opportunity. I want everybody to realize the opportunity. So XRP price consolidates inside symmetrical triangle near 52 cents. Where will the breakout happen? And I like reading stuff like this. So we've talked about how the whales bought 299 million worth of XRP tokens in a single day. I actually talked about it on my update, my second update of the day, and it got over 1,000 views, so I know someone's watching it. So hopefully you watch that video. It was about 20 minutes. It was a very passionate video. But, and he said, "May God multiply your blessings." Thank you for that, George. Amen to that. May God bless you and everybody in the audience as well. So let's read this. XRP price remains lackluster and trades are in a very limited range, confirming a lack of interest among investors. This is when I'm the most happy to buy XRP in the pairing. I like when there's no investor interest. I like when the general public has gone silent. I like when retail investors couldn't care less about buying. Don't you understand you want to buy and you want to accumulate when the whales are, not when retail is? The whales are buying for a reason. Trading with J-Ride. That is in, if you look in the video description below, if you have the ability to buy, or if you're on MEXC, go into the, if you're on MEXC, go to where you hit trade, type in XRP and go to the bottom. It'll say XRP slash Bitcoin. That's how you'd buy it. But remember, you have to buy Bitcoin to do that. So I always buy Bitcoin and then I buy into the pairing with every money I want to use. And then it gives you the ability to sell out into the pairing of the XRP Bitcoin pairing back into Bitcoin when it comes back into. So basically, let's say the ratio is at the 742 sat level and you're looking for appreciation to sell into Bitcoin to put into further XRP or put in the further cash. So now it goes up to the 1000 sat level. Now you can buy 23% or 26% more Bitcoin than you could before when you initially bought into the pairing. That's what you want. You're waiting for the sat level to go up. Despite the whales buying 299 million worth of coins in a single day, the price failed to convert into a bullish price action. As of writing, XRP USD is exchanging hands at, and it's up marginally better than that at 52.5 cents. So it's up about 1% on the day. Lons, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Holy crap. Really, seriously, everybody, you're humbling me quite a bit as always. You always do. You always do. In the latest development, Ripple is also reported to sell 400 million XRP tokens this month. The move is to align XRP's holding market operations and price volatility. So technically speaking, and let's look at their chart real quick because it isn't a symmetrical triangle for all intents and purposes. That's the chart we have if you take out the mid-tier resistance at 53.7. I have that exact setup. Technically speaking, XRP USD is trading inside a short-term consolidation where the downside is capped near 48 cents and the upside seems limited near 54 cents. Currently, the price is struggling near the critical trading area of 52 cents. This is a key psychological zone, which acts as a key resistance zone, now reversing from the wall. No, that's, see, technically, I think that's incorrect from an analysis standpoint. I don't mind calling out. The cup and handle formation, the support structure is at 51.5 cents. The resistance here is 53.7. The mid-tier handle resistance is at 56.4. 52 is in no way a resistance. That's why it came right over it very easily to 52.5 right now. It's not resistance. I don't know where everybody keeps getting that. But that is not, 52 cents is not a resistance. And it is also not a psychological zone. I hate to break it to everybody. It's not. Right now, the biggest psychological zone, I guess it's near 52. So what am I talking about? 51 point cents is absolutely the psychological zone right now. If that handle resistance support line is turned to resistance from support, that is psychologically devastating. Anything short of that, anybody who knows technical analysis and knows that setup knows that we're in a beautiful spot right now of consolidation as long as it holds. After reversing from the roll of support area, after making the high of 74 cents, the price depreciated nearly 46% in April. Since April, the XRP price has been struggling to gain any meaningful traction. Need for Speed, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate that. Well, you know, technically, aren't I just an unknown analyst as well? You know, so I just call everybody experts. Hey, they took the time to write it on the screen. So in my eyes, they're the expert that everybody's listening to, right? That's where everybody's getting their information anyhow. These are the so-called experts. The formation of the symmetrical triangle and neutral technical formation indicates waning trading interest. Inside the triangle formation, the lows have been slanting higher since April 13th, and the highs are decreasing in a tight range. Giovanni says, nah, you're a legend, Tom. You're better than that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I have good history on my side with what we've done, that's for sure. RSI 14, the momentum oscillator relative strength index reads 48. This also confirms the ongoing tussle between bulls. Okay. Between bulls and bears. Any shift in the momentum could result in the upside breakout of the price pattern. MACD, moving average convergence divergence, another oscillator held near the central line. This again shows a lack of directional conviction amongst traders. So the support and resistance. If bulls win the battle, then the first resistance shall meet at 56 cents, which is a pretty nice spot. That's right near the mid-tier handle resistance in the cup and handle. Moving further towards 61 cents. On the other hand, the support of the XRP price is lying around the bearish trend line of the symmetrical triangle at 50 cents. A break below this level will open the gates for 46 cents. At the end, it should be advisable for the traders to wait for confirmation or the breakout of the price pattern before taking any directional bets. Yada, yada, yada. So that was just something I wanted to read because it could give us a little bit of a deeper outlook against something of my own. So we've talked about a lot here this evening. When the XRP healthcare, which I promised I would look at here this evening, still looks like it's trying to come over a major support line. If it holds this and we were to break back up, you could have a rather nice push out of here. It's been a nice consolidation, a very nice consolidation for XRP healthcare. If it breaks down, we know where we're going. We're not oblivious here, but it's tough here. It's very tough to see exactly which way we want to go. Right now, we're at a very key resistance line. If we get rejected here, it's likely going to come back down, maybe all the way down, to retest that 3.1 cents. There's a 4-cent support zone as well. But this ascending formation very well might be giving way here. So there could be a level of consolidation. And as I said, there's a reason why I stopped buying XRP Healthcare. I have 55,800 and some chains that are being staked for 6 months, but I had to stop buying every day. I'm still up about almost 1x right now. So I have to wait for it to come back down. It doesn't make any sense for me to buy it at 5 and 6 cents. Until we get a better buying opportunity. If it gets a rejection here, we may get one sooner rather than later. From a weekly perspective, we're still looking a little bearish. Daily perspective, has a little bit of an inverted hammer. I mean, it could go either way. But right now it's on the bottom side here, so watch the 501 basically. If it's below 501, it's a problem. Or the 5.1, I should say. If it's below 5.1 cents, it's a problem. That could be where we get a little bit of a negative tug. AMP, as I said, there could be a better buying opportunity here down at 660. But who knows if it gets all the way down there. It did break down. Looks like a little reversal candle here in the 3-hourly. So it could come back up and retest. It's tough, though. This is tough. If it starts breaking bullish, there's an opportunity to break up. But technically, the 660 support, it could come down there. There's no reason, technically, for it to have to come all the way down there. But as long as it's below this downtrending resistance at 690, and it's going to come down a little bit farther, it's bearish. So it needs to get on top of that to make the push up into the area of around, I believe that's 771, yeah, 771. So there's still a lot watching. It had a fake out up here, couldn't quite stay within there, and now it's continue the consolidation. And if that's a head and shoulders, if it breaks below 660, that can be a big problem. So just watch that as it consolidates. Total crypto market cap's up 2.43%, or up to, what is this, 60, it's up 60.286 billion to 2.545 trillion. This is breaking out too. That's a big consolidation in the pennant flag, and it's something we've been watching. Why is it so far up though? But it is absolutely breaking out of this consolidation. This is interesting, because if it breaks out, we know the technical target. And if we can add this much of a market cap to crypto, imagine crypto back up near that $3 trillion mark. That would be very interesting, what it would do for the rest of crypto's price action. And if it gets on top of 2.95 trillion, that's when you get that big breakup. And we're not even going to speculate at that yet, but that would be this big pennant flag, the entirety of this break up. I mean, you could be talking about close to 4 trillion if it was best case scenario. So there's a lot to be going on here. There's a lot. Yeah, Dogecoin does pay. It gets very close quite often. It does get very close. It's up 1.97%. Doge. Up to 16.1 cents right now. But Doge has, in the past, come very close. It had come very close. Doge is just in a very long consolidation. It's even gone longer than what we expected. Because now we were speculating, but now you don't need to speculate. You've already got the numbers here. I haven't looked at Doge in a long time. We have over 10,000 Doge. I sent it to Julie because she likes Doge, and she's up. Since I sent it to her, she's up over. I know it's over 200. She bought it at around 5 cents. Bought it back. Well, I bought it back for her, but. She was somebody who had $50 into it on a free stock that had built up. She sold that stock, put it into Doge when it was at a bunch of zeros, and then it turned into over $1,000. She was one of those people. Let's see. But yeah, that's basically what you're looking at for Doge. We can rework this entire thing now. If it does break out, if this is a breakout, as it's teasing a breakout right now. The bottom line is Doge is trying to tease a breakout. And if you got the maximum blast off here, which it's come around, it already back tested here, but let's just let's just say, let's just give ourselves some grace. Let's say it happens and it's right around here, which that's 24 cents. So I mean, you can see how big of a breakup this could be. So if Doge does take this route, there's a massive opportunity. An absolutely massive opportunity here. And it's on the outside of a breakout attempt. It is on the outside of a breakout attempt. So, that's what we're watching for. I'm going to walk inside and talk because my son's getting some of his feeding through his tubes. So, what do we have here? Hey, buddy. Daddy's going to do his live right here so I can show you. So I can show you some emotional support. Yeah. It's okay. But yeah, that's for Doge. And Julie would be happy if Doge went up to 24 cents. So we got Bitcoin dominance at 54.5% right now, up 0.07%. Hi Tommy. Yeah, big smile. But the dominance is starting to break down now. That could be a little head and shoulders. We came down below nicely the 55.59. It could possibly come up here and retest that pivot area. And a rejection there would likely bring us down to 52. The farther down the dominance goes, the better off we are in cryptocurrency. Just because more money will go into other cryptos. We already filled out that technical breakout that we had, up to 57%. Somebody asked if they should buy Doge. I mean, that's completely up to you. I'm not a financial advisor, but I can tell you this. If you're buying something like this, you're looking to buy as close to the back test as you possibly can. You already got one opportunity to buy there. Let's see something. I just want to see something real quick. Like this is the most recent consolidation it's doing right now. Jules is one of those. Oh, let's see. So this is what's set up in Doge. So if you were buying Doge, you would have to be very careful in the fact that if it broke down this 15.6 cents, that it could come all the way back down and back test at 13.4 cents. If you're looking for a confirmation, if it gets on top of and holds 16.53, that could be an opportunity for a short-term push up. And this, if it breaks out of this, it should confirm the push up. This consolidation, I mean, this could be a massive move. It's just, what if it breaks down? You know, you got to find the most opportune moment. I'm not saying don't buy it, but I'm also saying look at these, look at what's sitting in front of us. That's the little consolidation that started to form here. So just be aware if you're buying what could go wrong. There is a bearish cross in the 4-hourly, but it very well could invalidate that as well. Yep, buying the red, not the green, 100%. 100%. Wales, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Am I too loud? But I'm going to go in there, guys. I want to go help my son. He's crying a little bit. So I'll see everybody tomorrow on the live. I thank everybody for tuning in. Have a blessed evening. But I want to go in there and be with my son. Have a blessed